Okay. Hey, so welcome everybody to another Nova Scribes. This is a gear walkthrough, what's in your bag. And so what Andrea and I thought we would do is just kind of walk you through, well, kind of the stuff that we carry, right? Now, Andrea is actually about to go off and do a job for me. And so I'm lending her a portable wall. So I thought we could kill two birds with one stone. I can show it to her because she hasn't seen it before, and then I can also show it to you. So let's do that. If this would be valuable to you. Yeah, I know, it's tracking. So if you want to make a portable wall, wait, now it's following you. There we go. I might turn off the AI camera. It's a little bit too smart. Well, of course it's going to look at Andrea. She's way more interesting to look at than I am. Here we go. All right. All right, so this is a keyboard case like what you would get at a, just for a keyboard, for a, piano, electronic piano. And then if we open it up, and Andrew, what you might do is just angle the thing downward since I turned off the gimbal. Yep, just kind of grab it and wrench it downward a little. And if you're on the call and you've got any requests or you can't see, just shout at me and let me know. Okay. So Andrea, here's your setup. Okay. 2 easels. Now you're welcome to use mine. You said that you have a couple. It's entirely up to you. Do you want to use these? You can.
If they're already packed up with it, sure.
They're already packed up. A tube, just an empty cardboard tube. Hello. An empty cardboard tube that you can put like charts or paper in, whatever you want. Gaffer's tape. This will come in handy in just a minute. So binder clips. These are the big binder clips, and I use these on the corner. Okay, just to hang the paper to the board. Make sense?
Yep.
Okay, so let's take a look at the board itself because that's the knacky part, especially getting it set up. So what you're going to need is a big flat space. And when I say big, I mean 4 feet by 8 feet. And so if you don't mind, just kind of help me slide this out of here. Okay, and then that's fine. And then we'll just go ahead and unfold it. All right, so go ahead and grab that side. Super. Now this is where the gaffer's tape comes in. Because on the convex hinges, you're going to want to take a piece of gaffer's tape like this. Okay. Mm-hmm. Make sure that this is pressed down nice and flat and just stick it right there. So you're going to do top and bottom of each one of these seams, making sure that it's pressed flat on that one and then that one, the one right between your feet. Okay.
Okay.
And then we would flip it over. Let's go ahead and flip it over. Lay it down, and then same thing on this one, the center one, and then the one on the edge.
Okay.
Now you've got a flat board. You throw that up on your easels. You put the clips on the corners, and you're ready to go. Okay.
Great.
What questions do you have?
Just so for everybody who's watching, what kind of board is this?
So this is
special or normal foam core?
Well, it's special because it's mine. Besides that, yeah, it's a normal foam core. It's foam board. It is 1/2-inch high density gator board. You can do that. And that just gives you a little bit more, density. So it doesn't get quite so banged up. And the nice thing about this is you can check it on a plane, which means you don't have to worry about, getting big boards and things on site. Because I hate, getting to a hotel, finding that the foam board that I had ordered is nowhere to be seen. So there you go. Okay.
Okay.
You ready?
Yep.
Cool. All right. Well, Andrea and I are packing this back up. Let's see. We've got Nancy and Christina and Benoit. Any questions about the portable wall? You have the bag? Oh, here it is. Okay, that's the portable wall. Andrea, why don't you go next while I package this stuff up?
Nancy, are you trying to?
Or she had something?
Yeah, Brian, will you just check the waiting list? The waiting room. I've only gotten one signal of somebody waiting, and I want to be sure I didn't miss anything.
I don't think we're that popular. So yeah, I think we're good.
Okay, I think you're very popular.
All right, well, it's very kind. Thank you. So I'll package this one up, Andrea, if you want to. Oh, and let me show you where your cards are. All right. Right here. Cool.
Awesome.
All right. I think, did you need anything else from me?
Nope.
Okay. What have you got to show off?
So just as a quick introduction,
There you
I
go.
came up with this idea for doing this session a couple of years ago, because when I first started doing this, when I decided, okay, I was going to leave my day job and I wanted to do my own thing and start doing more of this full time. I had been doing it kind of as a on the side or in the midst of my job. So I wanted to know, what was I missing? So I'm in the DC area. There's a lot of community here. So I was able to go around and talk to a lot of visual practitioners in the area about lessons learned that they had from starting up their own business, what they wished they had done or what they would suggest doing first. And one of the questions that was big that I asked was, what's in your bag? If you think of it like a women's purse or something, if you have the kids' diaper bag or whatever, what lives in your bag that every time you go to something is in there, so that if you just have to pick it up and go, what's in that bag? And I actually got a huge variety of responses. There were some pieces that were key that everybody had, but there was a lot that was based on preference, that was based on what they'd learned trying different tools. So I started off with one set of gear and what was in my bag, and it's evolved over time too. So we wanted to share a little bit about what we have in our bags when we're going out. You want to start with your cart?
Oh, we can, yeah. So, by the way, feel free to jump in, ask questions. We're just sort of doing this, okay? So mine tends to be pretty modular. Okay, so I have a couple of these kind of trays. These are just IKEA bins, and then inside them are the Neuland kind of kits. And I like to have everything that's got anything to do with one color in one kit. So for example, this is all of the 101 and 102 gray and I've got a big one, an art marker, a chisel tip, plus the ink in there. And so that way, if I'm coming up with a specific color palette for a specific job, all I've got to do is grab that kit and I'm ready to go, okay? So if I'm doing a local job, I like to just throw everything in a milk crate. So I've got a couple of these, okay? And again, here's like a palette of markers that's ready to go. And here's one more palette of markers that's ready to go. And then with this, here's kind of what's in there. That's sort of my standard complement of markers, all organized by color. And then I just throw a couple of those into a milk crate. And the nice thing about the milk crate is, once I've got this, right, I can flip it over and I can put my markers on top of it. I get a little bit of height just so it's easier for me to grab. I can also, if they've got a chair rail, I can stand on the thing. Hey, and here's Casey.
Hey, how's it going?
And then when I'm done with this, I can come back to my studio, take that same palette, and then pop it in a little cart. Here we go. Pop this in a little cart, and now I can do studio work with the same set of markers. And it's that fast to load and unload. That's kind of how I like to do it. Casey, you want to come say hi?
Show them your.
Hello, everybody.
And
You have to duck down compared to the rest of us.
That's really great, Casey. Here you go.
Hello, everybody.
All right, I'm turning the AI camera back.
Oh,
no. That's awesome.
Oh, fabulous. Are we sharing kits right now? Or?
Well, I just went through mine, and you've got the microphone. So
I got mine. Can somebody grab my stuff?
Get your stuff.
Well,
I got one as well.
your stuff. I got one. I'll show
Please,
some of
Andrew,
mine
please.
while you're going. Okay, so one of the things I'd asked when I went around talking to everybody was, what do you even keep it in? Because at the time, all my stuff was in little modular pouches of things. And see, what do you take with you? One thing that a few people had recommended was a tackle bag.
Oh, yeah.
So I went out and got myself a tackle bag. The nice thing about tackle bags is they have 1 million pockets, and they're all good sized pockets. So you have plenty of spaces. Mine has, a lot of zippered pockets and things that are divided up. So some of the things that I keep in mind, this is my marker holster. It is great. I put it around my waist to put the markers in.
Oh.
And it's actually a nurse's pouch. If you go on Amazon and look up a nurse's pouch, that's what this actually is. And it's got, again, 1 million pockets. So in here, I usually will keep labels for corrections, If I'm using pastels or pencil or something for anything, I have an eraser that I keep in here.
Oh.
I keep one of these little a little circle, because it helps if I have to draw a lot of little circles, then at least I have one of those in there.
I like that a lot.
And usually, I don't have markers in here right now, but usually I have a bunch lined up here, just the ones that I know I'm going to be using the whole time. And then in the pouch in front of it is where I'll keep my outliners. Now, those are the ones that I'm usually writing with. So I keep them a little bit separate from the others, makes it easier to reach them. But this is, I found this online, and you don't have to go with purple, but purple's kind of my signature color. So you'll see a lot of purple in my stuff.
And Ingrid, it's called a nurse's pouch.
Yes.
Okay. Amazing. I've been using a nail belt.
Oh yeah. Well, hang on just a second.
Yeah.
Now, 'cause that's what I use, and
I like
think
the-
it's great. It's got the little
Great.
clip on the back of it, you know.
Yeah.
Now this is if you happen to wear belts, like us boys do. You know?
Yeah.
Say it's not as easy for women, so I like
Exactly.
the clip. Another one that I almost tried that looked really good was if you look for a like cosmetician's belt, so like a makeup artist or something like that. They have ones that they're usually a little bit longer, and it looks a little more like an apron, but it's the same type of thing with it ties, and there's a lot of pockets in it.
And there's something dissatisfying taking your pen.
There you go.
Sorry.
There you go.
There's something dissatisfying taking your pen, just doing that.
One other thing I've done in addition to the nurse's pouch, and especially for the ladies, work pants very rarely come with pockets, but I found a few that are nice. They're kind of, they look almost like nicer yoga pants, but they have pockets on the sides, pockets in the back. So I'll have markers going in pockets and in my holster and everywhere.
I just want to, Andrew, you have like pockets.
Yeah, I've got like cargo pockets right now.
Yeah, and then you got some down here too. So I really like, as long as we're looking at clothes, let's do
Cool,
cool,
yeah.
you know. So I really like, and I still have tape on it. So I've got, kind of more tactical pants. So I can, same thing. I can throw some pockets in here. They're nylon. I will say these are, and I do use this especially after a job when it's really, really hot for some reason, because they turn off the air conditioning or I've got to go off.
Oh, shorts.
Yeah, mine are also zip off,
Shorts.
and I'm absolutely shameless about going into shorts.
This is the part where you do the Arnold pose. You
Yeah,
just-
I mean, I think I've got pretty good calves. I don't know, but it does get pretty dang hot in some of these venues. When you're schlepping stuff in and out of your car or whatever.
It does.
Not for everybody, but
Sadly, I have not found women's work pants that will do that, but
Oh.
pockets, and I almost always have black pants for when you drop your marker.
oh yeah,
Yeah, I
Because
wore the
whatever
I wore the
color you
wrong
get on you,
pants.
it
Yeah.
won't matter.
and dark clothes for when you drop ink all over the place for sure.
Yeah, it's
A couple other quick ones that I'm gonna just go through real quick in my bag. I almost always have either painter's tape or frog tape, and it's usually what I've had to use it for the most is actually for taping down cords, because people will, pull like laptop cords or whatever cords around and not do anything about them, and I don't want to trip on them. Neither does anyone else. To say Brian's bringing out the bright orange tape.
Yep.
orange gaffers. Yeah.
Always
Don't
have
use that on
scotch
a
tape
wall.
in there.
No.
I usually have a tape measure.
Good call.
Yep.
What do you use the tape measure? What do you use the tape measure for?
It depends on, sometimes I use it beforehand for setting up. It's the measuring how far your charts are going to go before you put it up, and then have to get another tall person to help you move it.
Very smart. Okay. What else you got?
I have the artist
yep,
tape for
yep,
putting stuff
yep.
up on the wall. I don't always carry around like the Mr. Sketch or the participant type markers with me. So I usually have, these are just Sharpie flip chart markers that I'll use for participants, or if I'm running out of ink or something, then I'll grab these.
Yeah, can I on these? So short of Noylands, these are my favorite, workhorse marker, the Sharpie flip charts. And the reason for it is that they have a round nib, so you get a nice mono line with that. They're super cheap, so you don't have to worry about here, hand it to a participant, let them use it for whatever. But yeah, I go through buckets of those things.
I also have, I don't carry this in all my bags,
Oh,
but in
neat.
this one I do. it's a little portable work light, and this actually has a couple of them in it. They're very small, they're very portable, they have they're battery operated.
That's cool.
So if I want to if the lighting's bad, or if I've been at some where they need me to take pictures and then just basically walk away from it, the batteries need replacing on that one.
Yeah, it's a little, but that's super bright. Wow.
Yeah, they
So you
get
just
very
put it in
bright.
there, you just fold it out, put it on the floor behind is what you do?
Yep, they've got a little arm.
Oh, that's great. That's great.
That is cool.
That's
So-
pretty pretty.
Again, that was like, I think it was an Amazon find or Lowe's, something. It was really cheap, but it's small and portable and can be pulled along easily.
Learn something new.
That's why we do this.
Yeah, that's why we do
Andrea, what's the brand on that?
Sun
just-
Zone.
this. It looks like
Sun Zone.
a
It's just,
basic
it's kind of
Amazon.
a generic
Got it.
Sun Zone 10-watt LED work light.
It's
This
nice.
way.
It has
Excellent.
AA batteries in, which are nice as well. Those are
Yes,
plentiful.
because those are easy to flip in and out.
Awesome.
Otherwise,
you.
in the bag, I have, you never know what kind of wall you're going to have. So I have T-pins, I
Yep.
have
Binder clips.
big binder clips, I have tape, I have thumbtacks. What else?
What do you use thumbtacks for? I use binder or T-pins all the time, but not thumbtacks.
Sometimes there are some walls that I've come across where they're textured walls and they're not really meant for pins or for tape.
Hmm.
So so T-pins won't go into them, but thumbtacks are shorter.
If you put them in at an angle, I found you can use T-pins for that.
Yeah, I've had trouble with even
Really?
at an
Okay.
angle, just because of the length, I think. I usually have, like, I'll keep my business cards. I've got a little like name tag that I keep in here, which I didn't realize was in there because I thought I lost it. So yay, lost and found.
Name tags are great.
Yes. Battery pack, because you never know when you're going to need your phone or something and it's going to go out. I joke, this is my little first aid kit / pharmacy,
Personal care, yeah.
where I have a little first aid kit. These are actually more for travel, but I have earplugs, I've got Tylenol, I've got Tums, I've got cough drops, I've got like anything somebody's going to need in there. I think that's mostly it. What's
That's
in
awesome.
here?
Is
So
that like Alka-Seltzer? Is that?
I think that's a
Sanitizing
hand
wipe?
wipe. Yeah,
Okay.
sanitizing wipes.
I love, and you have a Field and Stream, same as I do. Because
Yep.
this one, and the
It's a
cool
good
thing
brand.
about tackle boxes like this is they've got this great shoulder strap, so
Mhm.
you've got your hands free, you can have your paper in one hand or something else.
One of the things that I like about this one
Mm-hmm.
is it's got the main pouch,
Oh.
and then this zipper's on top of it. And then there's this area before this folds, and then this clips. So sometimes I'll toss like a sketchbook or something in between, like on top of here, and then fold
Oh,
down,
that's good.
and it'll stick in there.
Now, does yours have, wait a minute, I think it's on this side. Does yours have this insulated
No,
For
mine doesn't
your-
have an insulated.
for your cans, so you can have
No,
your
that's
beverages?
pretty cool.
Yeah, right. Anyway,
That's a nice one.
I mean, this was my workhorse when I was at NGA. I mean, this one, I've chewed this thing up.
Yep.
But, I occasionally, if I'm doing like a light job, this is it. This is like my day pack.
Yeah. And that's that one. That one's the one that's the same. It's, that's my default.
Right.
The other one I
Yeah, there
have
you go.
is I use this one only locally when I know I'm going to have something to take it with. And it's one of these Neuland marker kits.
And do you like that? I was thinking about getting one of those, but it just seemed a little clunky for me.
I like it. I don't know that it's better than what you currently have.
Mhm.
But for me, it's more organized. It keeps the markers more organized than my tackle bag does. And again, I'll keep tissues, cards. I've got my knife up here. I've got tape in here. I've got labels. Again, frog tape. Got this one. I've got like T-pins and also magnets in just one of these little things. I love these. I got them at Container Store, but how do I turn me get this so you can
Like
see it?
that.
So
Well,
that the
get closer.
contrast, I mean. It's got little side things here. You put that
Yeah.
there and you can clip it on.
Kind of like that.
Oh, so everything stays nice and secure.
Yes.
Which is what I don't have with my pins.
Because I don't like that spilling out all over.
Oh, no.
everywhere.
Which I've done.
For my markers, so Brian mentioned that he has his done by color, like at one kit being all one color. When I use this, I have the markers that I know I'm going to be using the most are the ones that are going to be in my holster. In here, this is some of this is where my markers just live. So I take them with me if it's local. Otherwise, if I'm traveling, I just swap them in and out of here. But generally, I have them done by type. So I'll have like the brush tips over here. I'll have the chisel tips over here. Have the big ones. I've also got the big one art that have the brush tips. I've got outliners.
And
I've got some like the cover.
Can I poke around in your bag?
Go for it.
So the other thing I'm noticing is that you personalize your markers with that kind of like purple band that's on the back.
Yeah.
Do you go ahead?
No, go ahead.
Well, I was going to say, do you have markers like disappear on you?
So yes, I've had markers. I've had participants try and take them. And I work on a team with other graphic facilitators. So sometimes our markers will get interchanged and mixed up. Which, if it's team markers, that's fine. But if they're my markers, I'm going to be possessive of them. I used originally it's called a washi tape.
Yep.
Around here, and I discovered that that's fine unless it's a marker you use a lot, and then it comes off pretty easily. So what I changed to doing is I got a different color nail polish. So I got, for me, again, I said purple's kind of my color. So I just put like a purple dot on the one with nail polish that are mine. And that's been the easiest for me so far.
That's an amazing fix.
Go right ahead.
All right. I got something kind of like that. So I've got these on mine. There's a little, you can't really see it because of let's see if we can do that. Lizard brain. Okay. Now these, I actually learned about this from Jacob Eastham because, he has a young kid who was always losing stuff in kindergarten. And so they make these things called teddy labels. Okay. And so you can go to teddy labels and have it print up to whatever you want. I mean, it's not exactly going to get your logo, but hey, it's a lizard, kind of close enough. So all of my markers have this little like lizard brain logo on it, so I don't have to worry about them. I mean, if somebody's going to steal a marker, they're going to steal a marker, but at least they'll have hopefully some guilt.
But if it's a situation like me with my team, if they're just markers everywhere, then it's easier.
Which happens.
Which
like,
is which.
Show this marker. Oh, it's lizard brain. How do you call that guy?
Other than
marketing.
Other than the what are they called? Teddy
labels.
Teddy labels. Avery also makes some that you can pick up at Target or Office Max.
Yes,
but get the fabric ones.
Yes, that.
Not the paper ones, but the ones that are meant for fabric.
Yeah, because these are meant to like literally go through the wash, on the back of your kid's jacket or something. What else you got? Business cards, cutter. What kind of cutter do you use?
Just a Olfa, I guess is the brand. It's just a generic.
Tell me about your color palette. I mean, you have some really interesting colors. Like I don't have any of these. So
some I've found, especially with the brush tips, I use a lot of the like lighter, more pastel colors to make little images pop.
Let me see if I can.
So you've got like the big anchor image that you might have, but you might also have smaller ones that you want to pop but not take over. Depending on the client's color palette, I'll use one of the lighter color of the pastels. In fact, some of them, I think it's this one you can almost not even see.
That's what is it, 802? 804.
Yeah.
That was close. And
but otherwise, there's some, I also keep a lot of lighter colors for people. So there's a lot of, there's different markers. I think Nyland has a palette too that's skin tone palette. I don't usually use a skin tone palette. I do, like I'll make purple people, I'll make blue people, I'll make whatever. But if I don't want them to pop too much, then I'll use the lighter version of it. So when I'm showing diversity, I'm not showing real skin colors. I'm just showing lots of colors. That's pretty much it.
What kind of eraser do you use?
I have the I think it's called pink pearl or white pearl.
Okay.
I have that. That's in my other. I don't know if it still has a label on it even. But there's this, white pearl.
White pearl.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Now, does that like pill all over the place?
It does.
Yeah. So I really like these guys.
is the needed
Kneaded eraser
yeah.
because it doesn't pill at all. Also, if you can get a little stress
Like
relief
silly
out.
putty.
Yeah, it's exactly like silly putty. Spelled kneaded, like kneaded bread.
Okay.
I just like
It
it.
doesn't feel like that's, I love it. Like that.
Here, you want one?
Yeah. I'll try not to chew on it. Put it in my mouth.
Please don't. Who knows CPR? Just in
I mean, you
case.
could. Oh, and then you've got your rainbow unicorn.
Yes, so I'm
lunchbox.
gonna share a travel hack that I use. How many of you travel with markers or with ink? So I know a lot of people travel, and I've seen in a lot of different communities, whether it's the Facebook community or the IFAP community, talking about how annoying it is when ink explodes or
Yep.
markers leak, things like that. So what I do, and I can honestly say with this system, I have never had a marker or ink leak after going on a plane. This is an insulated lunchbox. It literally, so it is lovely and beautiful unicorns. This was an old one of my daughters that I used. You can use any insulated lunchbox.
I'm going to take a picture
I
of you
just,
doing
I
this. You're
had,
having
I had
fun
this
here.
on, I had this just, I just had this on hand. So this is what I used. But in it, I have my markers bagged up. I keep ink bagged up, and I usually put a paper towel in with it too, just in case. But like I said, I have not had them spill yet. And then for the times where I can't travel with my X-Acto knife, I got one of
Ceramic
these
razor,
little ceramic razors. And I keep it in its packaged for TSA for when they find it and go, what the heck is this? And I just leave it in here. Yeah, but that's my travel hack, is that I have not had anything explode or spill using the insulated lunchbox.
Know what this is?
What's that?
This is a dry bag. Yep, it's just a simple nylon dry bag. You can see that I've had some ink explode on the inside, but that's what it's supposed to do, is blow up in there. And so you just wrap it up and clip the thingy, and don't even worry about it. So
It's the inverse of what the dry bag's made for.
yes, it's right. Keep the wet stuff on the inside.
Yeah, it's the inverse. Oh.
Okay, Casey, you got some stuff
Yeah,
to show off?
I brought 3 things. Sorry. Yes.
How about take that? Grab that.
Yes, I brought 3 things. A year ago, I had 4 of these. You can get these at what's the not Crate and Barrel
Container store?
Container Store, and it's made by Art Ben, and they got nice dividers inside of it. And what I carry inside of this are bunny rabbits for when people go in rabbit holes.
No, you can explain that one just in case.
Oh, okay. You've been in a group where someone takes a tangent and goes off topic. Little bunny rabbits are nice to have on the table. That way, if someone's going off scene, it lets people say, maybe just toss it around, give them a hint that they're going off script a little bit. That's really nice. You have to encourage people not to throw them, because the first thing people want to do is start throwing them at each other, even when they get on the table. But the whole intent is to mitigate rabbit holes. And a buddy of mine recently was in Hawaii. He led an event out there, and he bought some rabbits at the airport. And the Marine colonel was laughing as they were using the rabbits during the session.
It's a nice moment of levity when you're setting up.
Yes.
I usually will introduce them by mentioning that, because I work with a variety of content. And so sometimes it'll be very scientific, and I'm not a subject matter expert in it. So I'll tell them I'm not a subject. I'm not a subject matter expert. They are. So I don't always know when we're going off on a tangent. So if we start going down a tangent, if we start going down a rabbit hole, I ask them to just pick up and hold the rabbit up. That way it signals me that we need to get back on track, and I can move things back on track. But yes, we frequently have trouble with people throwing the rabbits everywhere and at each other. I have had one client who also liked to hoard the rabbits. We called him King of the Rabbits, because he hoarded all the rabbits so no one could use them against him.
Yeah. It took me a long time to find a timer I really liked. A lot of timers make noise when you click on them, right? When you try to set the time, like kitchen timers do. And this is one I found a while back. And let me see the name on the back. If you do a search on Amazon, it's called VO. It's hard to see. There you go. VOCOO. It took me a while to find it. It's the best. I probably went through a dozen of these. I'm not kidding. A dozen timers till I found one that I really liked. And it's magnetic, sits on a wall if you need it. It's really nice. And when you're working with groups, sometimes it helps using time timers. Anybody used a time timer before? One of the favorite things about these is that if someone has, oh, thanks. It sure does. Much more than
Oh,
me.
you know what you did? You held your hand up, which is the universal turn on the AI.
There we go.
So
If someone only has 5 minutes to present or 5 minutes to talk, it helps showing them 5 minutes. If they got 10 minutes or 15 minutes, 15 minutes. And when time slowly ticks away, gives them a sense of how much time they have. These come in multiple sizes. This is a nice, convenient one to carry. I'll show you a larger one a little bit later. But this is, this goes everywhere I go whenever I run an event because it's got a nice handle on it. Some gaffers tape it down. You can carry it wherever you want to go. Nice little handle on it. Container store.
Is that the kind that came with like a marker grid in it?
This, the way this one, that's a great question. Great question. What this one comes with is it comes with these dividers inside here. It comes with 3 dividers inside of it. So you have 3 sections inside of it. I lost one of them a while back. So I only got 2 inside this one. But it's a great little thing just to carry your stuff inside of.
If you do find the art bin ones that have the marker grid in them, just know that it won't fit Neuland's.
Oh, good. And so let me go down to this one right here. I'll zoom down a little bit here. This is my crate of goodness. This is where all my workshop supplies go. 120 pens, right? I'm a big fan of the Mr. Sketch It notes. I actually separate out my fully sticky notes from my normal sticky notes. Full sticky notes, if you use full sticky notes.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. These are the one where almost the entire back on them is a sticky note. And this is, and this is a hack I picked up last year at the IFEP. Postcards. Really cheap, really inexpensive. It's a nice way to end a workshop. Yes, if there's an opportunity, you might want to follow up when you leave this event. If there's something that you might want to get a reminder in 2 weeks to see if you took action on it, put your name on there, give us your address, and put what you want done. In 2 weeks, it'll show up inside your inbox.
I like that.
It's a nice little way to give people a reminder of what they accomplished. Because the first time I got one of these from somebody, I realized I hadn't done anything I wanted to get done. So it motivated me. But the rest of this is normal supplies. When you work groups, this is a great little deck right here. This is if you're not familiar with Roger Von Owick's work on creativity, this is just a great pack for getting people thinking outside their comfort zone. If people feel like they're stuck or they're in an engagement, just ask them to pick a card and gives a little bit of discussion on the front and read it and ask people to respond to it or generate ideas off it. Great little pack to have, a great way to get group thinking differently than they normally do. So a lot of this is probably just normal supplies inside here, but this doesn't go everywhere I go. It's just a good way of keeping my supplies. Oh, here's a lesson learned for me. When you go to the post office, never ask for postcard stamps from the machine. Go to the desk. Because of the machine, they print them out one by one. When you want 50 of these, it took like 45 minutes to print out 50 of these. I was just waiting as it printed, but always go, oh, yeah, you got a larger deck?
yeah, this is sort of like the easy reader edition.
I like that.
Creative Black Pack. It's a really good one. Cool.
And they talked about tackle bags. This is a gun and ammo pouch bag, is what this is. And inside of it is essentially almost all my markers. It's a chance to bring all your markers inside of it. I kind of like Andrea. I like to break my markers out. Like Brian, like all my blacks in one spot. I like to bring some of the ink I'm probably going to use on an event with me as well. The nice thing about this is that one, it holds a lot. But the really cool thing are the side pouches on this, which I really enjoy. The front matter on this pouch, make sure it's the right one. It zips open. And inside of this, this is all my stars and all my bag of sticky notes. And I'll often use this with a group. Anyone ever done a game with a group where you just give dots based on how people do during the course of the day? You guys ever done this, right? People come in on time, give them a dot. Whichever table came with the most ideas, everybody at the table gets a dot. You assign dots based on things that align with what the course of the day is, when people are kind of participating fully. At the end of the day, I like to give a prize. And what I give at the end of the day is I give stickers out. And you'd be amazed what adults do for stickers. It's a nice little way to give a gift, and it's a little bit of competition. And I love these out. These are some of my favorite stickers to give when someone really leans forward, when someone leans in, you give them a super a way to go, you rock sticker. And they're just a nice little way to emphasize, not that, as a friend of mine once said, it helps to treat children like adults and always treat adults like children. And there's something powerful about little stickers. I love that.
So where do you get your stickers from?
Amazon. I just look at Amazon.
Okay.
Look at, this is one of my favorite sets right here. And let's see these. Everything it says, you know, you're cherry smart. You're a big squeal, ice job, super work.
Those are amazing.
Yeah, they're great little stickers. My favorite one's the Triceratops roarsome work. It's just a nice little way to have some fun with the group. When people are showing up, they're not expecting to have fun. The stickers are a nice, simple way to engage a group to have fun. One of the things I find really helpful is that because when people are using these through the course of the day, they say, "Oh man, that deserves one of these stickers," and it's just a nice little way to change the energy in the room, and it keeps them engaged. The normal things, scissors inside here. Once again, like Brian and I think the nail patch like Nancy uses, or the nail container. These things are great. You talked about razors. Yeah, I have like 15 of these. It seems I don't know how to keep buying them. And when it comes to erasers,
I've been missing 15 of those.
that might be.
Oh,
These are like Korean foam erasers.
Foam erasers.
Yeah.
Here,
what's
put
the
this-
benefit
yeah.
to foam
I
eraser?
don't know. I did a search for the best erasers a while back, and this came up. And they're either Korean or and actually they're Japanese foam erasers. What these are,
Here, put
they-
that with it. See which one you like better.
they do peel. They do peel.
Okay.
And then there's one more. Oh yeah, business cards inside there as well. Oh, here's one of my favorite things. I'm not sure if you can get these.
Yes.
Does the what are they called? They're the super strength magnets.
And what these are designed for race bibs back when I was doing triathlons. It's a way to, instead of clipping your bib on, play the magnets. And I'll find this is just a way to keep myself busy. It's a fidgety tool for me when I'm working with the group. So a nice fidgety tool.
Do you have a fidget?
So it's when they're doing things, it's a way I think sometimes. Oh, of course, batteries is what you need. And the back side of this, there's some things I think that are essential when you're graphically facilitating or graphically recording. That's nice. I love this little thing you spin around. I really like this. Is your marker bag. The bag your markers go in. Really helpful. The used ones. I always carry around silver backed labels. It's a way that way you peel them off and put them on.
Yes.
And well, I learned this from Brian. The reason you use silverback is because you only got to put one label on like 4 or 5 to cover up everything. So that's why you use silverback.
So it's thicker.
It's
Or more opaque.
more opaque.
Okay.
Oh, and a little bell,
The chimes.
a little chime to pull people back together.
Wait, you
And-
have your chimes?
Not
Please.
with me.
Oh, okay.
And Explorer cards,
Nice.
Leadership Explorer cards. It's amazing how versatile these are. So many ways you can use these with the group, especially everything from brainstorming, figuring out what the goal for the day is, what outcomes are looking to get to. So that's kind of my kit, I think. Yeah, that's kind of everything I have. So hopefully that was helpful for you all. I feel like I'm falling between Andrew. Oh, Andrew's got something really cool to share. What do you got there, Andrew?
I've got a
Yeah.
couple extra things that I don't necessarily keep in for each event, but I've had some where like if they ask for a time lapse or if they want to record it or something, I bring it's a gooseneck phone holder where you can see if I can get this to come down. I'm not as tall as Casey. Where one side will clip onto onto a desk or a chair or a window ledge, whatever, and then the other side it opens up and you can put your phone in there. Usually I'll then have my phone plugged into something if I need to, or I'll plug it into my battery pack if I need it to last for a while and there's not an outlet. That way I can record it, or I can do time lapse, and you can, I mean, it's a gooseneck holder because you can turn the neck, you can get whatever angle you need to from it.
And I got one other thing to share. I met Brian the first time in 2019. I've been carrying this around since then. It's a color palette because I am color challenged. So it's a nice palette to have of what, so quickly when you're trying to figure out what to use, what palette to use, and you don't have a pre-selected palette, it's a nice way to figure out which things work together.
That's great. I use it too.
Yeah, I've been carrying around that for 5 years.
I've got a couple more things to, let me borrow that actually. So I have a couple more things to show, but before we get into it, that was a lot. So Christina, Nancy, whoever else is out there, questions, queries, what's popping up for you all? Should we keep going?
Keep going, keep going. I love it. Yeah.
Keep going.
It's been amazing. I've got 5 pages of notes.
Oh well,
That's
so
great.
here's what, Nancy. In all seriousness, I want to get with you. Let's start a Google Doc, and we'll come up with like some crazy master list of all of these things. Okay.
Fabulous.
All right. Let me show you a few other things. So these are like gold. Okay. So these are paddles, and they've got thumbs up on one side, thumbs down on the other side. And you can get these for like 20 cents a pop from Oriental Trading. And I will just pass these out. You know, I love doing this with groups of 300 people because, you know, I can quickly do a straw poll and say, all right, how are we feeling about this? You know, and then the thumbs go up, the thumbs go down. Now, the thing that I learned about using these, and I want to give credit where credit is due, I really learned how to facilitate from somebody by the name of Lori Durnell, who was at the Grove for a long time. Okay. And so I saw her use these for the first time. Now, the thing is that I think most facilitators, most amateur facilitators will be like, all right, let's see how we did. Thumbs up, thumbs down. So it's mostly green. So yeah, motion passes, let's move along. Here's what she would do. She'd be like, no, I see there's one person with a red thumb up over there. What's going on for you? You know, what do you see that the rest of us don't see, right? Show us your side of the beach ball. And so she would use that as a way of really bringing in that outside perspective. And I was like, to me, that was a masterful move, right? Because it's not just about majority rule. It's not about just check the box and move on. So that's one thing. Yep. What do you got?
If you don't have the paddles, another good thing that you can do, if you look up, I'm not going to get into it because it's not the focus of this session, but if you look up gradients of agreement, if you don't want to use the paddles, then it's a scale of 1 to 8, and you say, okay, you know, what is your number? And 1 is basically the, you know, yes, I'm all in, this is great, and 8 is veto, and it's a scale in between. So I'll ask everybody to put up their number, and so anybody who's, you know, so you did put up like a 3, 4, 5. Anybody who is, I think it's 5 and up to 8. You get them to expand on the, okay, well, tell me more about that. Why is it, you know, why is that your number?
Good. Gradients of agreement. Another polling tool. I'll just show you a couple of other kind of geeky things. Now this is kind of a funky little device, but boy, has this thing saved me. This is about the 3rd one of these things I've had because I'm in the bad habit of breaking them. It's called an arc compass, okay? And this one happens to be made by Stanley, same like tool company that does like, you know, hammers and things. But there's a little spike and then this little dooflatchy that just holds a pencil, and you can draw these perfect circles with the thing, okay? And depending on how long your pole is, I've got another one over there that's 4 feet long, which means if you think about it, I can do a circle that's got, you know, an 8-foot diameter on the thing, which is pretty awesome. So that's an arc compass. As long as we're talking about drawing circles, let me grab Heather's stuff. So Heather Martinez, in this partnership with Neuland, she came out with these guys, which are pretty cool. And if you don't have a set, you should. It's just a really easy way of, let me grab one. What you do.
I like how you use the
binder clip to hold it. Yeah, because otherwise they get everywhere.
Yep, that's a great idea.
So you hold this against your paper, you grab your marker, and you just go around the inside ring like that, and you've got another perfect circle. She's also got hexagons. I think she may have squares. I'm not sure about that one, but she's got a couple. I know she's got hexagons for sure. And it's got these marks on the outside of it that she says are good for coming up with Venn diagrams. I've never figured that out. She's way smarter than I am. So there's that.
Intersection
You did that?
points.
Intersection points.
And are those from Neuland?
Yeah, you can get them from Neuland.
And I
Okay.
think they're orange colored by screen, I think now.
Yeah, these were the prototypes. These are the first ones that she ever made. I think that was like her second set ever. Couple of other things that I've got. Now this is, okay, you guys are, I don't know if you've seen this one. Roll of tape, vinyl tape, like electrical tape. This is for whiteboards, because if you've ever tried to tape on whiteboards and they use that like greasy stuff and it slides all over, this will hang on to anything.
Okay.
But it
Good
doesn't
to know.
look quite as like vicious as duct tape or gaffer's tape. So it kind of, you can kind of say, oh yeah, it's safe tape, which is this stuff, and then turn around and use this when you really need to. So there's that. Bunch of rubber bands. I bring rubber. Oh, this is pretty cool. All right. So I like things that you can do like dual purpose with. Okay. So a bunch of rubber bands for your charts, but here's the other thing. You can actually turn this into an energizer. All right. So I've got this little thing with me. This is called Expanding Perspectives. You see this little card with these geometric shapes on it? All right, so Casey, have you done this one before?
I have not.
All right, Andrea, come here. Have you done this one? So here, you grab a rubber band. Okay, this is your first shape. See this like square? So you need to make a square.
With them together or just?
However you want. So make a square. Okay, got it? All right, then the next one is a square with a diagonal line bisecting it. Ah, there you go. Okay, and then the next one is a square within a square. See how it's in the upper right-hand corner? Now, here's what's really cool about Casey and Andrea is that people will try to figure this out on their own and break their fingers trying to do it with one rubber band. In one move, these two figured out the head fake with this whole thing, which is you've got to collaborate, before you get there. And by the time you get to this last one, let's see if I can get it to show up. By the time you get to this last one, down at the bottom, which is like that weird kite shape, it's like it's impossible to do unless you've got like 10 people around.
Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome.
So I like the energizers that pack light that you can use like, multiple things for. Yeah, sure. Yeah, grab it. Expanding. I get this from Joe Wolf, by the way. That's his.
Oh, yeah.
I've done it with him with the rope.
Yep.
With rubber bands, but that
I
works
love
well
it.
too.
Here, you want to grab that one? Little mini speaker. Okay, to play music with. I think this is a really good one to have. This is a Bluetooth speaker. Okay. And then of course, I was hoping you'd have your chimes.
Oh.
Okay. So you've seen Casey's chimes? Do you have
Yeah,
yours handy?
I got mine. Yeah, I
You
got
got
mine.
your rod.
Rod.
So
The same kind he does.
I like these. These are called, yeah, you've got yours. That's amazing. Looks good, Christina. So Christina, this is cool. So I learned, I got these in Tibet. Somebody showed me the proper way to use these things. Now, for a long time, I was doing, actually, let's hear yours. Go for it. Nice. Okay. So for a long time, I would just like clang them together like that. Okay. Christina, check it out. I was taught the proper way to do it, which apparently is to pinch them like this and then bring them together sideways. And that really, really resonates, right? I don't know. This guy was like really vehement. It's like, that's the proper way to do it. It's like, okay, fine.
I have a friend who has a Tibetan singing bowl.
Yes. I cannot get those darn things to sing. I just end up beating the thing. I tried to, it's like, trying to get a crystal goblet to,
They look like a mortar and pestle.
It does. It is. Can't make it work.
The funny thing about using the chimes is that because I do Lego Serious Play and it's all tabletop stuff, I explained to my hosts that I would be using these, and they went, no, we just stand like this and everyone else puts their hand up. And then in the middle of the session, when they needed to get people's attention, they came and got my chimes, because when you're doing tabletop exercises, no one is looking at you. They are looking at the table.
Yes. They're all focused on the thing. So, Christina, you'll dig this. So this is my little art bin.
Oh, it's
and this is about 100.
You've got
I was
ducks.
gonna have her guess. Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
You've
From
got
building-
ducks.
Yeah.
Yep.
Build a duck.
Are these the actual?
I've got 100 as well.
You got about 100 of these things?
They
Yeah.
don't
Yep.
sell.
They don't sell them anymore?
No, you can get like the big Lego Serious kit, but they don't sell
Yep.
the ducks specifically anymore.
Okay.
I think I got this
Shall
from a
I
retailer.
explain a little bit?
Yeah, please.
Hang on. All right. So, and I've got them here, and it only happens now and again. And wouldn't you know it, just while I'm trying to find it, So you can get those kits, but they are not for sale. However, if you keep an eye on Lego stores, now and again, and for me in the last 4 months, it's happened 3 times, there is this kit.
That looks a heck of a lot like the Build-A-Duck kit to me.
Yeah, it does.
Okay, so the thing is that the duck kit is 6 bricks, and it usually costs about $5. Now, these ones have got 16 bricks in it. It's called Build an Animal, and they're $2.99. And the thing is that they come in boxes. They're a promotional thing. So I drop into the Lego store once a week when I'm in the city, just to check out what they've got.
Okay,
And
all right.
then I told them the story that I'm part of the Lego Serious Play community. And so they let me know when they've got them. They'll come over and they'll say, so you know those ducks? And they come in boxes of 30. So what happens is that I then send a message out to the community saying, guys, the ducks are in, and they'll swoop in and pick them up.
That's amazing.
But the thing is that they're half the price and 3 times the number of bricks. So I have 100 of these all stashed away. And then the other ones, the 6 bricks ones, I actually buy those in Pick-a-Brick, and I'll buy 50 sets at a time, and you just choose the bricks and do that. But I'm quite impressed.
That's awesome.
And another thing for tabletop exercises, I found that using sticky notes is not useful because sometimes people want to move things. So I use hexagons, and these are for doing patchwork. So Michael's, Hobby Lobby, that stuff, and they come in packs of 100, and it means that because hexagons will form a network, and so when I'm doing a tabletop exercise and I'm encouraging people around networks and things like that, we use hexagons that they write on, and then they can bunch them all together, and they get this nice shape that isn't square or rectangular, and they can see how things will fit together. And so I quite like that. And so 2-inch, 2.5-inch, and people write on them with Sharpies. And I tend to make lots and lots of labels for things. So here's my tabletop kit. That's because this is for a Lego Serious Play session. So there will be pointers, there'll be markers, there'll be this. And then when people help me tidy up, which can be a hazard, I have little labels on everything that says this is what goes in here. And then people can help really, really easily. Or if I'm doing an energizer, I have the instruction for how to run it, and then I let people go off and do that. So that's fun. But I do like these, and I used to make patchwork quilts out of these. Now it's quite fun to use them for something else.
Christina, quick question. Are those sticky in the back or not?
No, because you see, I need people to push them all around.
You get them the table, they're doing the coordination on the table, which makes sense. That makes a lot of sense why you'd use it for that. I really like it.
Because what I found is that people would write on a sticky note, they'd put their model on it, and they didn't always remember that they needed the sticky side up and write on the sticky side, so when they stick their model on it, they can slide it around the table. So because we tend to slide things around the table, I use just these little paper cards.
I like that. Yeah, especially system map. It'd be great for system map. Oh,
that's cool, Christina. I love doing Build-A-Duck. I love doing Lego Serious Play. The problem with I found with Lego Duck is that people get really upset with me when I tell them they have to give me them back, right? They really want to keep the ducks. And in the back of my mind, I'm like, okay, you're paying me how much for this? Each one of these ducks costs how much? What's the loss I'm going to take if I give away my ducks, you know? And like, to your point, you can't get them anymore either, right?
That's why I buy them in bulk, and it means that people don't need to open the cellophane bags. So I just buy, I go into Amazon, I go into lego.com, because you see, then I get free shipping. And so then I'll order them in batches of 50 or 100. And then what I do is, this is so funny. I get little organza bags that you might put jewelry in. I put the ducks into those, and then I lay those out on the table, and I buy those. They're little pull bags for little jewelry things.
Little cheap ones,
Like
yeah.
this, but I use smaller. And you can get 100 of these for $8. And so then I'll put the ducks into these, usually in a much smaller bag, and then I can lay them out on the tables. And so when they arrive, there are all these little bags of things. And funny story, I'm setting up to do a different thing called Memory Cafe, and the kits are bigger. And I find these are too fragile. And I was in the garden shop. And in the garden shop, they had these big organza bags that you put on your vegetables and your grapes and things like that to keep the insects off. And so I bought a whole bunch of those to put the Duplo bricks and everything like that in, so I can set them out on the tables. Funniest place ever to buy my bags.
Lucky find.
You know what's cool
Very
about that
much
is that when you attune your eyes, like, okay, how can I use this in a facilitation, right? You end up like buying just like crazy stuff. I actually, let me grab something. Or why don't you talk for a minute? Let me grab something.
So
Now, Nancy, I'm curious. Out of everything you have, what's the one thing you can't leave home without? When you think about it, there's probably both between Nancy and Christina. There's probably something you're like, if I don't have this, I don't feel right going into a session.
So I always have a stopwatch that I use mostly to keep myself on time.
Yeah.
So I have just a little handheld stopwatch. I've got them in all different colors so they can match my outfit.
All different colors. Oh, I love it. I love it. Now, Christina, about you, there's probably something, if you don't show up with something, you don't feel whole when you go to an event or something like that. Probably it'd be called a Linus blanket in some ways. You think about Snoopy. What's the one thing that makes you feel you know everything's going well if you have this when you show up for the session?
Oh, that's really funny. Because I have these bags for different purposes, and I just grab whichever one of that is that it goes. I know what did throw me the other day is that I kind of like wasn't relying on my brain anymore. I had put down my pointer for running through my presentation that was on screen. I'd put it down and I couldn't find it. And even though I saw the case, I thought, no, I've taken that out, and I hadn't. I'd put it back in. And it was the whole reliance on my brain, and that really I should trust myself sometimes. I tell you what we have noticed recently, we've been adding, I do another thing as well. We've been adding in some technology using Mentimeter and things like that. One of the things that we have noticed is that the younger people tend not to have data on their phones. And so when we give them a barcode, a QR code to go to Mentimeter and vote on something, we found that there was a group of people who weren't voting. And it was these younger people who didn't have data on their phones. So now I always have a phone that I can put a hotspot on. And as people enter the room and things like that, I explain that we'll be using Mentimeter, and that if you don't have any data, please hook to my hotspot. And because sometimes there isn't Wi-Fi where I am. So I've got a hotspot for you. Please connect to that. And that way, because we just found that we were getting these groups of people that weren't participating, and we worked out it was the young ones with no data, and that they were a little bit embarrassed to say that I have no data on my phone. So now we just say, look, if you need data, I've got a hotspot here for you so that you can participate in our Mentimeter. And that way we get 100% of everybody doing it, because they're quite nice for making word clouds. So that was something that I've learned in the last year, that often young people, and we'll have kind of like a wide range of ages, but sometimes young people don't have data on their phones, and it makes it a little bit hard for them to participate in something where we're using technology.
Christina, something you might want to look into, and I just saw this at an Airbnb that I stayed at. It was really cool. There was this wooden tile that was right where you would do the check-in, and then all you had to do was, it was a wooden tile, and it had like the symbol of like Wi-Fi on it, those radiating lines, and all you had to do was tap your phone to the thing. without putting in any kind of passwords or anything else, but you would just connect to the Wi-Fi like that. I don't remember what it was called.
Oh, wow.
But it was,
Wow.
I was thinking, you know, for our line of work, if you can just key this thing with whatever the login is for the Wi-Fi, and then just have people tap it, that's pretty seamless.
Yeah.
That's
That's pretty
really
cool.
good.
It was really cool.
Yeah.
I wish I could remember what it was called, but
cool.
it was just there.
That's like that.
You know, on the topic of how do we use these like ordinary things for like facilitation purposes. So I got my hands on a bunch of these like just tags, right? Like price tags. And so what I'll use them for is superlatives, which is to say, hey, you know, Casey, you did a great job. You know, I want to recognize Casey as, you know what, Casey, you're going to get the award for tallest facilitator. Here you go. And so, you know, and what's cool about it, you just pass them out, you have them all over the table, and you say, give each other superlatives, give each other awards. And if somebody does something, it's kind of like your stickers, right?
Yeah.
So somebody does it, and I've gone back into, I've bought thousands of these things. I've gone back into organizations, and people will have like right there next to their master's degree and their doctorate, these little plastic, you know, championship cups.
It's almost like an appreciation of that.
Yeah.
How can you appreciate something on your table, right?
Right,
You
right.
give them an award. What would appreciate? Oh, it's fabulous.
Especially the
Oh, I
peer
love it. Love it. Love it.
To your, you can keep that if you want. Your tallest facilitator. You know, Christina, I wanted to show you this because it really resonated. You remember what you were saying about your clicker going missing, right? So in my case, I am always losing my facilitation guide, okay, my notes. And so what I've gotten in the habit of doing is, you know, just grabbing a sheet of orange, bright, obnoxious orange paper and stapling it to the front of my facilitation guide, because, you know, I'm walking around, I'm engaging, I'm talking to other people, you know, I need my hands, I take my thing, I set it down somewhere. The next thing I know, I'm like, crap, what am I supposed to be doing next? You know, and so this thing just stands out. I'm like, there's my guide, I can go and pick it up. But yeah, not relying on the brain.
It's like saying, if lost, return to Brian.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So a couple of things that I keep with me that are just like references more than anything else, like in the graphic recording side of things, like I'll just stick this to my chart somewhere where you can say, just scan this illustration, you'll connect to me, I'll get an email, and I will scan this QR code, I'll send you the illustration. I like to take a notepad just to like test my marker and to take notes on. You guys probably do the same thing. Here's those labels, like what you were talking about. You know, the silver back labels, we've already talked about that. And then in here, this is really beat up. I should probably switch this. The references that I use all the time. Casey, I think you've actually copied a few of these. What, yeah, how to do containers. We'll do a whole class on that. I've got a lot of references from Heather Martinez. So like her sign painter, Ductus. A couple of things from like Mike Rohde on quick references on sketchnoting, just like one-page references though. You know, texture and pattern, just something that I can have right there on the floor that I can refer to. Oh, yes. There's this, and then this is one of my favorite graphics ever. This is everything that the Coyote ever ordered from Acme. The real thing's right over there on the wall. It's framed, you know. Here, since we're in like go mode. Right there, see that gold poster, right? Yeah, so that's a copy of this. But what I love about this is that it's iconic, right? It's a stick of dynamite, it's an anvil, it's a safe, it's a parachute, it's a rocket pack, right? And each one of those things, I don't know, if you're like me, they evoke something.
And you could almost do an entire facilitation just using everything on the back of that.
Yeah, here.
Yeah.
So if you've never seen it,
It's following me here.
My Icon Library is a book that you can
There you
get.
go.
I think I got it on Amazon. But it literally is just, it has a term at the top and then different icons for it going down. So I started making my own too. And so I just got like just a little notebook that, you know, cardboard front. And I would just take, you know, what are some things that I'm hearing that I hear a lot of? And I just go and start making different icons for it for me to remember. So it's, you know, the big one that has all kinds of stuff, and then this one where maybe I've got it from clip art.
There you go.
And to build upon that, I bring my own sketchbooks with me because the one thing I've realized that pretty much all you need is a sketch and a word, and it resonates. Doesn't matter what sketch it is, doesn't matter what word it is, but it kind of cements it. That's an over exaggeration. Sometimes it does matter, though. It's a way for me to say, hey, they're talking about group play, or they're talking about operational design, or they're talking about engineering. Oh, that image, I'll draw that, and then it goes with the words they're using.
I want to show you one more bag. Okay. And probably you're probably not going to get one of these things. I just think it's super cool. Okay. So I got this is actually this is a rifle case. Full disclosure, I don't like guns. Guns scare me. I'm not a gun fanatic. He's got his ammo pack. But I'll tell. Let me show you why I like this thing. Okay. Let me go down a little bit with it. There we go. So as I zip it open, first of all, it's got a whole bunch of molly loops all over it, so you can like attach gear and that kind of thing. But as I open it up, now it's empty right now, but this is, if I'm going to get on the metro and I'm going to go downtown and I need to take my whole setup with me as portable as possible, this is what I take. Because on the one side, I can strap in, thank you, I can strap in rolls of paper, thank you. And then on the other one, I can just fit my markers in these loops here and I'm ready to go. So I've got everything that I need. Plus it's got this cushion, which is amazing for your knees. And so, you know, it's got space to carry everything, including your paper, because there's lots of bags that will carry your markers, but not your paper. Okay. It's like one or the other. So you got to have like a map case or, you know, a fishing pole case or something else, but this will do both. And so, you know, the other nice thing about it is it's got a couple of backpack straps. Oh, nice. So I look weird when I'm on the metro, but, you know, I've got my hands free and this has got like everything that I need. So I just throw this on, ready to go.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I'm glad you dig it.
I didn't know it had the backpack straps.
It has the backpack straps, which is like the only reason I got this thing. I think I've got one other thing to show off. And then do you guys have anything else you want to?
Just real quick.
Okay, all right.
Stuff. Yeah.
So the other thing that I always try to bring with me are thank you cards. So thank you cards for my partners, thank you cards for my clients. I'm trying to do a better job of remembering. I've worked with you both. I haven't gotten you a thank you card. It's not personal. You know, I'm trying to do a better job of those. But yeah, just I'm trying to practice that a little bit more. So yeah, thank you cards. Okay, you said containers?
Just real quick in terms of transport stuff. Now, these are not ones that I use while traveling, but I'll use them locally. One, I literally had this wagon from when my kids did sports, but it's great because it just has a loop here that you pull up and it collapses down. So most of the time I just leave this in the trunk of my car, and it's great for times. I have one client where the parking lot is quite a hike from the door. So bringing all your stuff can be a little bit of a challenge. So I keep this in my trunk, and that way I can just unfold it, put all my stuff in there, and just pull the whole thing with me. The other one that I got that's very versatile.
I can't come over quite that far. There you go.
I'm coming here. So this folds. It folds flat for when you want to store it. So it's very flat. I store it in just a closet in my house. But you can open it up. It'll open as like a cart, so you can put a box or anything on it. It's got this little thing here. Or you can do it as you can fold it like that, and you have a dolly that you can cart stuff around with. So I don't use this one as often as the wagon, but it's very useful when you have a lot or if you've got boxes.
Nice.
And oh, sorry.
Here you go.
And I tend to bring a portable wall with me, and I think Brian has one. I have one. A big dolly is worth its weight in gold. The amount you can pack on a good dolly like Andrea here, with all your equipment on it. There's been times where you're literally pushing this industrial strength trolley through security with all your stuff on side of it, and it sure beats 2 or 3 trips. Yeah.
Cool. I think that's pretty much all I had to show off.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anything else? Nancy says this has been amazing. Yeah, I think we're all going to call it a night. Nancy, great you could
It's
be here. Christina, great to have
so
you.
great. Thank you guys so much. This was just, I mean, I can't tell you how excited I am. There was
This
so
was
much
super
great
fun.
information. Thank you. Thank you.
guys for coming.
Good seeing you, Nancy.
Absolutely. Thank
Good to
you.
see you,
Bye-bye.
Bye,
Bye.
Nancy. So one of the things that I can't live without is my Dymo labeler, because
yeah.
I will label everything. So and
Yes.
I mean I have white words on clear, and I have black on clear, and I have white on black, and it's just so much easier if I've got everything labeled, because I'll have a big, I like Kathmandu as a brand, and so I have big wheelie bags of theirs, and I'll pack all my Lego into it, and then all of the like all of these are all color coordinated. This is a red bag that this one goes in, and these ones all go into the green one, and it's just that everybody is so keen to help pack up that it just gets really chaotic. And so I try to color coordinate things, label things, and I have a really detailed run sheet so that when I'm in the middle of all the things that are going on, I can go back to my run sheet to work out where I am.
Yes.
And if I have a co-facilitator, at least they've got something that they can go around. And I even have on it the prompts that I'll be using for each session that we're doing, so that they can see, okay, here are the prompts we're using right now. I will go around to all these tables, and we can use the same language, even though we're at different ends of the room. And we may have only met an hour before the session. And then we can also come together, because I one day when we got together, she said, okay, so we're running out of time. Which of these things are you going to leave out? And I mean, well, actually what we'll do is we'll just compress them and do them all at once. And she goes, oh, okay. And then carried on. So it was a really nice way to be working with someone else, and they knew what we were doing, what we were saying. And also for me, because I will forget in the moment of where I need to guide people next. And so for me, it's about laying out how this might look. I'm not married to it, so sometimes it changes, but at least when I get right in the midst of it, I know where we're headed. So that's the bit that when I was thinking about it later after your question, that's the thing that holds me together. I've planned this out. I've got an idea of what we're doing, and I can really bring myself into the moment. And if I forget where I am, I've got this thing that tells me that the next step is this.
Nice.
I'm jealous that you have participants that want to help clean up.
Yeah. You can like hear the tires squealing as they take off.
Yes. I always
Well, I haven't. One of the things I'm going to look for, because Lego Serious Play is based on metaphor and storytelling, I'm going to look for more rabbits, because I have sharks and I have chickens, and we were doing this thing with architects, technology architects, and one of the models had this chicken in it, and someone goes, so what's the chicken? And they go, really? Every project has a chicken. And then everyone started to talk about the chickens. So now I'm going to get rabbits as well.
Every project has a chicken. I love it.
Chicken. I love that.
I think that's a great note to end
That's
on.
a great
All right,
note.
Christina, thank you for
Christina,
being
thank you.
here. This is super fun.